Hello, everyone. I am Pat. Welcome to On the Seawall. Before we start our walking today, let me take a moment to share some story behind this remarkable seawall trail. The seawall began not as a recreational trail, but as a solution to a problem. In the early 1900s, erosion was threatening the shores of Stanley Park. The city needed a way to protect the park's edges from the relentless tides of Burrard Inlet. So in 1917, construction began by master stonemason James Cunningham, whose dedication would shape the seawall for decades. Cunningham worked tirelessly, often 7 days a week, laying stones by hand. He became a local legend, and when he passed away in 1963, the city honored him with a plaque along the seawall near Second Beach. His work laid the foundation literally for what would become one of Vancouver's most cherished public spaces. Over the years, the seawall grew. In the 1970s and 80s, it expanded beyond Stanley Park, curving around English Bay and into False Creek. By the 2000s, it reached all the way to Kitsilano and Spanish Banks. Today, it stretches over 28 kilometers, making it the longest uninterrupted waterfront path in the world. It is where joggers greet cyclists, where families stroll beside the ocean, and where the city meets the sea. So as we walk, ride, or roll along this path, remember the hands that built it, the vision that shaped it, and the generations who have enjoyed it. The seawall is more than just a feat of engineering. It is a reflection of Vancouver's values of our connection to nature, our commitment to public space, and our love of movement and community. The seawall isn't just a route, it is a legacy. Thank you, and enjoy the journey. We will let Mike continue to introduce Lions Gate Bridge later.
Hello, everyone, I am Mike. Now we are closing to the Lions Gate Bridge. I'd like to share the history about this magnificent bridge. The idea of a bridge across the First Narrows had been discussed since the late 19th century. But it wasn't until the 1930s, during the Great Depression, that the project truly took shape. At the time, West Vancouver was sparsely populated and difficult to access. Enter the Guinness families, the same family behind the famous Irish stout. They had purchased large tracts of land in West Vancouver, known as the British Properties, and saw the bridge as a way to unlock development. In 1933, the Guinness family offered to privately finance the bridge. After a citywide referendum and federal approval, construction began in 1937. The bridge was designed by Charles Monsarrat and Philip Pratley, and built with remarkable speed, completed in just over a year. On November 14, 1938, the Lions Gate Bridge officially opened to traffic. At the time, it was the longest suspension bridge in the British Empire, with a main span of 473 meters. It was a marvel of engineering, and a symbol of progress for Vancouver. The name Lions Gate pays tribute to the lions, the twin mountain peaks visible from the city. And if you look closely at the south entrance, you will see two majestic Art Deco lion statues, sculpted by Charles Monsarrat in 1939, standing as guardians of the bridge. Originally a toll bridge, the Lions Gate was transferred to provincial ownership in 1955, and tolls were removed in 1963. Over the decades, it has undergone upgrades including a major deck replacement in the early 2000s to preserve its structure while maintaining its historic character. In 2005, the bridge was designated a National Historic Site of Canada, recognizing its cultural and engineering significance. Today, it remains a vital link between downtown Vancouver and the North Shore, carrying over 60,000 vehicles a day. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. See you next time.